Hey everyone, Mike McClellan here with Bass Resource today to talk my 5 favorite baits for September. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's kind of a tough one for me because when you start thinking about September, there's so many different things that could actually be going on depending on what part of the country you're in. But the one thing that we will all agree on, I mean, you could poll 50 anglers today and I'm gonna say 80% or more of those 50 anglers are going to say that September can truly be the toughest month of the year to fish just about anywhere in the United States. And I don't really understand if we all know why that happens, but I know in my part of the country it's generally because of the thermocline breaking. And those fish just tend to do all different things. You've got fish that go super deep and you've got fish that go super shallow. So you've really kind of got to have an array of baits in September that allow you to cover a lot of different depth zones. So for me, my 5 favorite baits in September are probably going to go in this order because I'm going to talk about them from a manner of which ones I would rather catch fish on. I mean, of any bait that I could throw day in, day out, year after year that I love to catch a bass on, it's going to be a buzz bait of some kind. And basically what I've got here is I've got a little big bite buzz shad and I've got a big bite buzz toad. To me, a buzz bait of some kind in the fall is going to be a mainstay. I don't care what part of the country you're in, if you get the right water conditions, if you get the right scenarios, a buzz bait is going to be one of the most exciting ways and the funnest ways, in my opinion, to catch a bass. And you're going to catch probably some of the biggest bass that you're going to catch in the fall of the year on a buzz bait. The second bait, and again, this is because I said earlier, these fish will go either deep or they're going to go super, super shallow. So that's the reason a buzz bait's so effective. But another bait that I'm going to have tied on all the time in September is going to be a walking style bait. This is actually a Spro haint. I like to carry a 125 as well as a 105 because I feel like depending on the style lake you're on, you need to have 2 different size baits to cover both gamuts. You know, you want a big bait for lakes that have big gizzard shad, big blueback herring, things like that. But when you're on a lake that's got a lot of threadfin shad, you want a smaller walking bait like this Spro walking haint. Generally what happens in the fall is you're going to get a lot of fish that start getting really keyed in on shad, and you're going to see a lot of schooling activity. I'm not necessarily saying you're going to see big schools, but you'll see a lot of individual fish starting to break on shad on the surface, and that's the reason that that topwater bait can become such an effective bait to throw. The 2 next baits that I'm going to look to is going to be a Spro rock crawler, RK55, no surprise, or a little brown finesse jig like we in the Ozarks are all famous for throwing. And the thing about it is, you know, a lot of people coin these baits as Ozark type baits. I've fished a lot of tournaments around the country in September in the fall. And these 2 baits right here, I will have to say are baits. If I'm on the right kind of water, the right body of water, these 2 baits I can catch fish pretty well anywhere in September across the country that you put me. So those are going to be baits that I've got to have in my September arsenal. The last, and not necessarily, it's not my least favorite in September, but you've always got to have a square bill in September. You've always got that push of fish that get on those bait fish that come shallow, and you know, they start pushing bait around in really, really flat pockets, a lot of flat water, so you've got to have a bait like a Spro Fat Papa. Generally, I'm going to throw the smaller bait in the fall. It just typically seems like a lot of fish get keyed on in September on smaller forage, so a Spro Fat Papa in that size is going to be what I probably rely on. So those are my 5 favorite baits for the month of September.